Third video today, I did a summons video for Vivian. We got a lot of copies of her. I don't feel like I need those copies now, but we're going to break her down. We're going to talk about everything she can do to help our team and why, or the comparison to other healers. And I've got that all broken down on a spreadsheet. I did a video on how to cheese out the Vivian event as well, so go check that out if you haven't seen it. Come and join the 3,200 supporters over at the Netmarble website. Pick me as your content creator and I will send you 200 stamina this month. Details are down below. Vivian is part of the Steed's favor. She will passively give Steed favor attack speed increase of attack speed 1. These are all the Steed guys down here that would benefit from that attack speed increase. Is she a good healer? Yeah, she's a good healer. Do we need a healer? Like another healer? Do you need that in your team right now? So I put her up against Turn, the best healer, hands down in the game. We've got Isolde here and Clementine as well. You can see their base speed, their base HP, what their healing is, 8.7% healing, one target, of course, the lowest HP ally, 10.7 healing on Turin, on her basic ability, 7% on Isolde, and 9.7% healing on Clementine. We've got an 80% chance to do a burn for one turn. Isolde has a 50% chance to do a burn for 2 turns. And it's weird because she can do a burn for 2 turns, but then if you go to her other affinities, not flame, if you go to the frost or the storm one, it's only a bleed for 1 turn or a chill for 1 turn. But for some reason, Isolde on flame has a 2-turn burn. I had to double check that. She's got an attack for a second ability, and then of course AoE healing at 11% of her max HP, removing dots, and then doing recovery over time for 2 turns. That is all Isolde, along with Clementine doing AoE healing for 10% of her max HP. And we've got Turin coming in, doing 15.7% of her max HP, giving you effect resistance buff on your whole entire team that doubles up so you don't get debuffed, so you don't get crowd controlled, and she's giving you attack speed 1. Turin is hands down the best healer. I use her more than anyone. That skill 3 on Storm is out of this world, along with the skill 3 on Frost. So if you're going up against somebody that's a flame enemy, you're going to use the Frost one. 20.5% max healing on the Frost. Unfortunately, she doesn't bring any cool buffs when you use Frost, but whenever I can use Wind, I go back to Wind to get that resist increase, to get that 15.7% max healing. These are all maxed out stats. If your guys don't have max stats, this is all from the Codex with maxed ability. Head to head, fully chivalried, all that kind of stuff, so we can really see where Vivian kind of falls in this. So her skill 1 is giving us a regular heal that we always get. She's just got an 80% chance to do a 1-turn burn. Her skill 2, 7.5% AoE heal, just like all these other ones that do AoE heal, and it will flip any dots into recovery over time. Then her skill 3 will give us a heal of 15% of her max HP, 100% chance to apply a burn on all the enemies out there, doing an AoE attack of 64% attack. She's not going to have high attack, and 2% of her max HP. It's not a big hit. It's going to be a small hit. So all in all, Vivian is a low damage dealer that can apply dots. Dots do add up. Those damage over times for sure add up on bosses, as long as they can take full dot damage. A lot of bosses take 90% less dot damage. Some bosses are immune to damage over time. She can increase Steed's favor speed by speed 1, and she can turn burns into recovery over time, and she can lower passive abilities. To do some of this, you have to have chivalries with her, because it's kind of a strange loop they're trying to create. If there aren't burns being applied to your team, like if you're not going into Gorgos and you want to get additional healing on her skill 2, you're going to have Chivalry 8, but it's on a 6-turn cooldown. With Chivalry 8, she's going to give everyone increased defense 1, along with this buff, Winding Waves, that counts as a dot. That's the only reason it's there, is to count as a dot, so you can then do skill 2, remove those Winding Waves, and get a heal over time. It's a real roundabout way to try to make this skill 2 give you recovery over time when you don't have burns applied or dots applied to your team, right? And you're only getting increased defense for 2 turns on a 6-turn cooldown. So it takes 7 rounds before you get this back up, before you then can do skill 2 again with this mock-up of a damage over time to convert it into recovery over time, and then this increased defense. So I don't think Chivalry 8 is worth it. It's a long cooldown. You're just turning that skill 2 into flipping some dots because you're not facing off against something that has dot, and you're only getting increased defense 1 for 2 turns every 7 turns. Eternal Breeze is the most interesting thing she has, but it only activates if an ally has recovery over time. So if you're not bringing in somebody else to apply recovery over time on your allies every 3 turns, then you have to have this Oath of Truth, which is Chivalry 8. This is only going to activate every 7 turns. Then your skill 2 will give you some recovery over times because it thinks there's dots on everybody. Then you can lower the passive cooldowns on everybody but her, because those dots, those winding waves, only apply to everybody but her. And then she will counterattack 1 time every 3 turns. And that counterattack I saw in the video can apply this burn. I forgot about this one. This one is really cool, but it's on a 3-turn cooldown. We get to give one of our allies that are low a 1 attack barrier. I like this, but it's not going to happen that often. We need 1 Chivalry there, and we want this Chivalry here. This one will activate the Eternal Breeze on any skill we do instead of doing the skill 3. Currently, if you don't have that Chivalry 3, you've got to do the skill 3 to activate Eternal Breeze. If you do have that Chivalry 3, it'll activate anytime we do an ability because we'll be casting her skill 2 to remove the damage over time, and that will then give us the recovery over time. I hope I summed her up easily enough. I feel like it's much easier to look at a spreadsheet where the numbers side by side so you can truly see what she's going to do, the healing she's going to do compared to other rare healers, the additional damage she might do if she gets these burns up. 80% chance maxed out on the skill 1 is a lot. 1 turn though, and then 100% chance on an AoE heal, which is a big heal. It doesn't attack, 64% of attack, 2% of max HP, applies a burn. That's good. We got a healer that's doing AoE damage, applying a burn, more damage, giving us a big heal, increasing Steed's favor speed, giving a counterattack every 3 turns down here whenever her allies are hit. A little bit more damage, a little bit more heal if we do heal and apply that dot off of it. Getting the winding waves, if you want to go Chivalry 8, that's pretty deep, man. That's really deep on a 6-turn cooldown. Reducing some passive abilities. Passive abilities are strong on a lot of heroes, but they're not so strong that, hey, if I reduce this passive ability every 2 turns, it's gonna like change the course of something I'm farming. I just don't think that's going to happen yet. I'm sure we're going to find somebody that's got some awesome passive ability. She lowers it and it's really cool to do back to back. Yeah, that's going to be fun, but we've only got a 4-man team. Is it going to be worth it bringing her in just for that 4-man team? At Endgame, we don't even use healers in any of our speed runs on stage 10. Or I might bring in Torn because she gives me that additional resistance. 2 stacks of resistance 2 is enormous. We get that increased speed for the whole entire team. They don't need to be Steed's favor. And I get 15.7% of max healing where she's giving me 15%. I don't get the AoE burns and I don't get that a little additional attack. If it's a boss like Gorgos that dies very easy to burn, then yeah, I would bring Vivian in. If it's not a boss that doesn't die to that, then I would bring in Torrin in her Storm spec as long as they're not a flame enemy, because I want that resistance, I want that attack speed. I'll take the 15.7% of max HP. Easier to level up a rare, of course, than a legendary. And if it is a flame enemy, I bring in Torrin and Frost and I get that massive 20.5 max HP heal to the whole entire team. What do you all think? Did I miss anything when I was describing Vivian? Let me know down below, please, and come join our Discord. We are there, as always, to help you day and night. We've got a lot of active people over there, written guides as well as video guides in Discord. Come and talk to me. I'd be happy to see you. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Appreciate your time, your love, your support, and I will see you all in a video soon.